Are you easily offended? Do you live your life offended? Or maybe you like to offend others. If that sounds like you, let's talk about that. So, our culture today really seems to get offended by a lot of things. And it's almost like people are looking to become offended, and they're offended by everybody's, beliefs, thoughts, opinions. If their opinions don't align with mine, or their political views, or their stance on something, people are offended. People get offended if somebody calls them the wrong pronoun, or calls them ma'am by accident, or says something that they don't really like. And there's those people that live in this offense every single day. And if that sounds like you, I'm going to be honest. You need to process that and determine why, because that's a very unhealthy state to live in. You are creating a lot of stress for yourself, a lot of unnecessary anxiety. You are creating waves in your family life, your friends' life, your just your day-to-day interactions. And quite honestly, you're living in a state of stress. And that's not healthy for you. So it's talking about you, okay? And your life and your health and your mental health and your physical health and your spiritual health and all of that. So when you are living in this place where you are offended by everything that's gone on, I saw this on social media and it offended me, or somebody has a different opinion than me and I'm offended, or I'm angry, or I'm upset because this person, looked at me this way and they judged me. When you live in that place, first of all, I think that you need to look at some insecurities in your life, and you need to determine what is triggering that and causing you to live in this state of being offended all the time. You might even like it. Like, some people seem to like to be offended all the time. It's almost like they love the adrenaline of being angry and offended, and they love the fight, and they love the, engaging in that they're right about something and that they know better and their opinion matters and their thoughts count and what they want counts. But saying all that, that's very narcissistic, very self-centered, very self-absorbed, to be quite honest. And you're saying your views are valuable, your thoughts are valuable, what you want is valuable, but so is what the other person thinks and feels and says. The other thing about that is you cannot control what other people say, do, their opinions, their feelings, and their thoughts on topics, or what they believe, their religious beliefs, their political beliefs, their stances on things. You cannot control that. And so by living offended, the only person you're affecting is yourself. And maybe you're making a few other people's lives pretty miserable. Yourself, your friends, your families. Maybe you're trying to make people's lives miserable online because you want to try to offend them, and that person's probably also emotionally immature, and both of you probably are. And if that offended you, that's great, because that really just triggered you and shows where you're at emotionally. Because you should be able to have conversations with people. You should be able to value somebody that has differing opinions than you, thoughts than you, whatever it is. And if somebody's truly doing something ignorant and being a jerk, yeah, I get it. There is people out there, maybe that is even you. You like to be that person and offend people on purpose. Don't let it offend you. Like, really, honestly and truly, it's your energy. It's your mental space. It's your life that it affects. It's you. It's your confidence that gets torn down because you're offended. Because if you're offended by somebody else's beliefs or thoughts or actions or opinions on something, honestly, it really shows what is inside, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how you're reacting, how you're responding. And that is more about you. That's about you and your life and your health. So I would say if that sounds like you need to stop and really think about the things that offend you, why they offend you, and be curious around that. Okay. And then second of all, learn not to be offended. You have to learn to set that aside, put it down, and move on from it and let it go, because that is only affecting your life. And I keep saying this because you design your life to be whatever you want it to be, whether you're intentional about it or not. And being offended all the time, you are unintentionally designing your life to be full of, turmoil, stress. You will not have peace. And you need to have peace. You need to have joy. And you need to stop the inner turmoil that's going on in your life in order to not live in chaos. Well, that's really what it is. But also just to have a life that you enjoy. So shut off your social media is probably the first thing. Don't seek out things that offend you, okay? And if something offends you, be curious around that. Stop. Think about it. Ask yourself questions. I know I've said that already, but it's really important for you to be curious around why. And if you're the person that's going around trying to offend people, that's a whole nother thing. I would be really curious about why you like to do that. And I would be asking myself, what is it? Does that make you feel powerful? Does that somehow feed into your ego? Does that somehow make you feel elevated? Because the reality is you're not. You're really not. You're just trying to feed your own ego by walking around trying to offend people. And if you're doing that, that really shows that honestly, you're a pretty insecure person. You're emotionally immature. You're kind of like that little bully on the playground, that runs around and tries to intimidate people. That's really who you are. And you don't want to be that person. You really don't want to be that bully that's, out there trying to offend people. So you should be curious about that if that's you, and asking, what is it? Like, why does that fulfill me in life? Why does that give me joy? Because it's a false sense of joy, and it's unhealthy. It's really unproductive. And honestly, you are creating stress and chaos in your life, whether you realize it or not. So that's my thoughts on being offended or offending others. I think that it really shows emotional immaturity. You should be able to, as an adult, have conversations with people without becoming offended, without, valuing your own opinions over others. And I'm not saying that it means your opinions are wrong or the other person's opinions are wrong. I have lots of conversations with people where I have differing opinions on them. I still respect them. I still love them. I still, that's fine. They're probably not going to change my opinion, and I'm not going to change their opinion, but I'm not going to live in a state of offense or stress over that. And it's really not worth it for you. You're losing your inner peace and your inner joy. And that is more important than anything else. And I think today in society, especially young people, live in this stress point of being offended, offending others. And I just got to say to you, let it go. Let it go. Learn how to deal with that. You will have more joy and peace in your life. All right. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Don't be offended. Design your life the way you want it to be. All right. And hopefully that helps you. If this challenges you and you're offended right now, well, sorry for triggering you, but really, I'm not really all that sorry, because that just shows something you need to work on. And so go and ask yourself why you're triggered by that. So I just want to leave you with that. You do not have to live your life offended at every little thing. So hopefully that helps you. If it does, like, subscribe, and come along with me on my channel and design your life to be the way you want it to be.